Good morning. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. This is our meditation time before our celebration service, our Sunday celebration service. For meditation today, I'm going to do a reading, as I often do, from this book called 365 Science of Mind, which has a reading every day by Ernest Holmes. I find it very inspiring, and especially today's reading for the 20th of July. I will read the first part of the reading, and then we will break for a silent meditation accompanied by a little quiet music. And at 10:05, I will bring you out of the meditation. So let's begin. The name of this page is I Honor the Presence of God. If I honor myself alone, not realizing that I am one with the divine presence, then I shall quickly exhaust the small portion of good that I, as a human being, can at any one moment contain. If I honor the presence of God in me, of God around and through me, of God in and through everything, then I am indeed honoring the presence of God. For one Spirit is over all, in all, and through all, and one presence is all. There can be no separation from this presence, no apartness, no division. It is one, complete and total, equally distributed and everywhere available. To feel this presence in things, in people, and in human events, and to sense that it is all inclusive, is to honor God and to provide in one's own self a place where the divine can go forth anew into creation. So today, if you would like, I invite you to contemplate during your meditation this sentence. Today, I'm honoring the presence of God. Today, I'm honoring the presence of God. And I will bring you out at about 10:05. So now, if you would, gently bring your consciousness back into the room. Today I'm honoring the presence of God. I feel God's beauty in the rose-tinted dawn and in the glow of the evening sunset. In the flower, I find the loveliness of God's beauty. In the mountains, I see God's strength. In the quiet of evening time, I feel God's presence. And throughout the night, I know that this presence blankets me. Therefore, I sleep in peace and I wake in joy, and I live in a consciousness of good. Seeing God in others, I enter into companionship with the divine in all people. In the outstretched hand, in the smile of recognition, and in the warm embrace of friends, I feel the one presence, the one power, and the one life. And so I give thanks with a song in my heart and with a joy unspeakable. I give thanks to this presence. May I evermore embrace and be embraced by the love, the beauty, and the goodness of God. I don't think the reading is getting more beautiful than that. So, on that note, we're going to end our meditation. And I want to thank you for lending your consciousness to the beginning of our celebration day. We'll see you back here at 10:15. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make. The reason you live is there in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes, take a breath, and smile. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. There was a time in my life, thought I had to do it all for myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. You gotta let it all go. And this is what you have to say.
Good morning. That was a catchy little introduction. Welcome to the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living and our Sunday celebration service. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Dusty Rippelmeyer, and I have the privilege and the honor of being this community's spiritual director. Our center, the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living, is part of a larger organization called Centers for Spiritual Living. Centers for Spiritual Living is a practical and positive philosophy, faith, and way of life, a global community of over 450 spiritual centers, teaching chapters, and special focus ministries in over 30 countries worldwide. Our community is the spiritual home for a diverse group of people who are seeking a deep and abiding connection with each other and with that is greater than ourselves. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions of God. We do this within a sacred community that welcomes everyone just as they are. Our mission is the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. We do this through celebration, study, service, fellowship, and the energy of unconditional love. Our vision is a world that works for everyone. We do this by consciously practicing the truth of our oneness and our unity with God in our everyday lives. You are welcome here no matter where you are on your spiritual path. Before we move forward with our service this morning, I invite everyone to take a moment of silent reflection and prayer for our beloved Suzanne Cardinal, who made her transition on Saturday morning. She and her son Micah have been members of our community for many years, attending Sunday services, special events, and supporting the community in many ways, including hosting a couple of home concerts over the years. She even held my ordination reception at her home in 2015. She is survived by her son Micah, her brother Paul, her sister-in-law Roseanne, and her mother Eleanor. Please take a moment to wish her well in her next expression and to shower Micah and her family with love and peace as they experience their grief. And now, wherever you are, please hold out your hands to Suzanne's soul and repeat after me. Suzanne, we see you. We know who you really are. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and we honor your next expression. You are loved and will be missed very much. Godspeed. Thank you, everyone, for that moment of reflection. I now have an announcement regarding our meditation retreat, a little update, if you will. In the past, we've just called it a meditation retreat, and it's been a bit of a survey, an opportunity to experience a number of different meditations. It will still be that, only so much more this year. We are calling it Keeping Your Center in Challenging Times, and the tagline is Finding Peace, Joy, and Serenity Amidst Conflict. Would you like more tools to bridge the gap between your daily human life and your eternal individual spiritual self? Would you like more practice staying grounded during turbulent moments? Would you like to refresh your soul in a natural setting? If you answered yes to any of these questions, please consider joining us as we raise our individual and collective vibrations through meditation, art, science, music, contemplation, process, and community in a natural healing environment. Our annual retreat is shifting to meet the needs of today, offering new sessions with a relevant content. It will still be deep and engaging and sacred. There will be more time than ever for collective meditation, individual contemplation, relaxation, and bonding. It will still be held at the beautiful St. Francis Springs Prayer and Retreat Center in Stoneville, North Carolina. The retreat will be held from 5 o'clock Friday afternoon, September 5th, through Sunday afternoon at around 3 o'clock on September 7th. The cost is $375 for a double room and $475 for a single room. This cost includes room, meals, and the retreat itself. You are able to register with a $50 deposit through our website at trianglecsl.org. Please consider joining us for this magnificent sacred experience. We do have a number of other announcements too. With our new way of being in the world, we have been and will continue to offer a variety of Sunday events. On Sunday, July 27th, we are gathering together at as a community to visit an area Hindu temple. Our group will be given a tour, and we have been invited to watch a service. We would love for you to join us. Sign up is required, and when you do, you will be given the specific details and any other information that you may need. Our group size is limited, so please sign up early. Please RSVP to info@trianglecsl.org to get the specifics. info@trianglecsl.org. We will also be having another special event that is happening on Wednesday, July 30th. It's the 5th Wednesday of the month, so we decided we were going to do something special. And that special opportunity is for us to be in person with each other, to break bread together, and to fundraise all at the same time. Panera Bread is offering nonprofit organizations the opportunity to raise money by giving back to our community 30% of what we spend having dinner together. Again, the event will be on Wednesday, July 30th. We would love for those of us that are able to join us to do so between 6 and 7:30. However, you are welcome to eat there anytime between 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock. Just let them know that you are with the Triangle Center for Spiritual Living. Please RSVP to info again at info@trianglecsl.org so that we will know to look for you, and we will be able to give you the address of the Panera Bread in Morrisville that we will be going to. So please come and join us for that. I'm also so excited to continue to announce our annual friend and fundraiser, Gourmets for God. Gourmets for God is a unique community builder and fundraiser for our center. The events are created and hosted by TCSL people. They involve inspired meals and other activities of all kinds. Just don't hold back on your imagination as you are thinking about them. The events can be simple or elaborate, and hosts can sponsor more than one event. Host registration will be happening throughout the month of July, which gives you about, another week and a half or so. Once your potential dates are determined and your plans are fully developed, please fill out a host registration form. The forms are available on the Wednesday newsletter or on our website. Please fill out a form for each event that you plan to host. To avoid scheduling 2 or more events on the same date and time, please secure your event date now. If you wish to check on any calendar dates, please contact Heather for that information. Then throughout August, we will be hosting a silent auction. The silent auction begins on Sunday, August 3rd, and it ends on Sunday, August 31st. If you've participated in other silent auctions before, you most likely bid to buy the whole event or the whole object. In Gourmets for God, your bidding for a seat at the event, or more seats if you have more people that you would like to come. If the event holds 6 people, then you're bidding for one of 6 events. Anyone can bid, and there is no limit to how many events you can bid for, and you do not need to be a TCSL member to participate. Then come events from September 13th through December 13th. Be on the lookout for more information through constant contact about the events. But please, if you're considering being a host of an event, please get your ideas into Heather before the end of July. It is really a very, very fun time. It's always been a very successful fund and fundraiser for our community. Upcoming events in August, just a heads up. August 3rd will be online only, meditation 9:45 and service at 10:15. August 10th will also be online only, meditation 9:45 and service at 10:15. August 17th, we will be in person at 4 Points by Sheridan. Meditation 9:45 and service at 10:15. There will be a potluck or a lunch bunch to follow. So we'll let you know exactly what's happening around that, but we will be breaking bread together following that in-person service. And then on August 24th, there will be a specific special event with the specifics to follow. And on August 31st, some kind of special service experience. And the specifics will also follow about that. Lastly, join us for our Wednesday evening services for 2025. The evening is called the Wednesday Experience, a look at life through meditation, musings, metaphysics, and magic. It really is a wonderful opportunity to come together, to deepen our practice with one another, to have our voice be heard, and to hear inspiring shares by like-minded people. The service will be held on Zoom from 7 o'clock until about 8:15. Before moving on, I would like to thank Diane Carnes for her absolutely beautiful meditation that expanded the container that our service will unfold within. Thank you very much, Diane. And now please welcome her back to the stage. Welcome, Diane.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. The theme for the year 2025 is Rising Higher, Growing Deeper. Our theme for the month of July is Rolling in the Deep. And Reverend Dusty's message is Go Deep. Please welcome Carol and Janelle, who will be assisting us this morning with our blessing of all faiths.
The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all spiritual paths, as represented by this ceremony. Christianity is the path of the Christ consciousness, of love and forgiveness. Buddhism is the path of compassion and understanding. Judaism is the ethical path of living by sacred law. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God, one's highest calling. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Taoism is the natural way, the path of ultimate reality. Native American practices and shamanic traditions are the paths of primal spirituality. Shintoism is the path of tribal ancestry. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principles of love and law. And the heart represents the one heart and the one love that resides at the center of all people and all beings everywhere, with absolutely no exceptions. May peace prevail on earth through the followers of all paths.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carol Cross. I'm one of the licensed practitioners here at TCSL, and it is my privilege to be the practitioner today on this beautiful, wonderful day. So let's begin by closing our outer eyes for a word of blessing on today's service. And what I noticed during Diane's beautiful meditation is how much of my time I spend breathing shallowly instead of deeply, and what a different experience that is. And I realize that I do that in my thoughts as well, that my thoughts can be focused on my human existence, which is the shallow part of my life. And because of that, in my human existence, I often experience conflict or frustration or anger or lack. But I know that that's just because I have not gone deep within, which I am doing at this moment. I'm going deep within, and there I experience peace. There I experience unconditional love. There I experience joy, wisdom, beauty, and oneness with all that is. Oneness with one who, of all who are. And because of that oneness, I know that this is the experience of everyone who's participating in today's service, everyone in our community, even those who've recently moved to the other side of the veil, like Rebecca Laughlin and Suzanne Cardinal. And yet our connection is unended because the reality of us is our eternal selves. And so that is who I call forth for today's service, knowing that that is how we create miracles. So I want to say a word of blessing on Diane for her beautiful meditation and platform host duties. A word of blessing on Heather, who not only takes care of us all week long, but is the maestro of today's service, being the wizard who makes it all possible for us to be together, even when we're not together. A word of blessing on the oh so talented and just oh so wonderful Sandy Hemingway, who will lift our spirits with his music today. A word of blessing on our beloved Reverend Dusty, who I know is a vehicle for Spirit's wisdom and love and certainty. So that feels really, really good to me. And of course, a word of blessing for all of our community who participate in this, either now or in the future. So, knowing that we are all in this deep space, which is when we're connected with the truth of who and what we are, I know that only wonderful things can come forth from that. So I am ready for those things to start flowing. So let's release this into the law that always says yes with our words, and so it is. Okay, so today's reading is by Jean Houston, who in a foreword to the book A Science of Mind. She says, Ernest Holmes is one of the first to direct us to what is to be found in the vast ecology of inner space. In his scope of understanding and application, he anticipated and prepared the field for the revolution mind and brain research that was to come. The patterns of an emerging sacred psychology are offered in the knowing that as we go within, we can access the deep structures of our being and build bridges to the great archival realm, wherein lie the dynamic designs that form and reform our reality. The science of mind shows us how to be active and creative citizens in a universe and innerverse richer than all previous imaginings. And so it is. So, but before we get to that, let's set the stage by calling forth TCSL's own music man, Mr. Sandy Hemingway.
Good morning, everyone. This is a song by Daniel Neiman. It's called When I Pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
Thank you very much, Sandy. That was beautiful. And I'm, well, not amazed because this is the way that it works, but between the meditation, Diane's beautiful meditation, Carol's prayer, Sandy's song, and now this conversation that we're about to have, it's just all flowing just perfectly. It's truly an example of there being one mind and that we're all connected to it. So welcome to those of you who may have just turned on your computers at home. As Diane said earlier, the theme for the month of June is Rolling in the Deep, and my message is entitled Go Deep. As I began to think about what I was being called to say today, my mind immediately went to a Hindu story that I have shared before, but I'm going to do so again because, there's really no limit to how many times you can hear a good story again and again, especially since this one reminds me so much about the deep spiritual truth of each and every single one of us. So according to this Hindu story, there was once a time when all human beings were gods, but they so abused their divinity that Brahman, the chief god, decided to take it away from them. So he gathered up a council of the gods to ask them where he could hide their divinity so that they would not be able to find it. So the gods said, let's bury it deep in the earth. But Brahman answered, no, that will not do, because human beings will dig into the earth and they will find it. So then the god said, let's sink it into the deepest ocean. But Brahman said, no, not there, for they will learn to dive into the ocean and they will find it. And then the god said, let's take it up to the top of the highest mountain and hide it somewhere up there. But once again, Brahman said, no, that will not do either, because they will eventually climb every mountain and once again take up their divinity. So the other gods gave up, and they said to Brahman, we don't know where to hide it, because it seems as if there is no place on earth or deep in the sea that human beings will not eventually reach. Brahman thought for a long time, and then he said, here is what we will do. We will hide their divinity deep in the center of their own being. Deep in the center of their own being, for humans will never think to look for it there. So all the gods agreed that this was perfect, and the deed was done. And since that time, humans have been going up and down the earth, digging, diving, climbing, and exploring, searching for something that has already been inside of themselves. Now, for those of us that have been coming here for any length of time, this is not a foreign idea. It is not a new concept. We believe that within each and every single one of us is a spark of the divine, that we have within us an inherent power and presence that is complete and a unique manifestation of God in its image and likeness, a constant that is ever present, that we can never be separate from. Ernest Holmes says, at the center of our being there is a divine person, a unique incarnation of God. The question is whether we are living from this center or whether we are thinking of ourselves as detached, separated, divided, alone, and inadequate. Now, for me, this is a very important question for each of us to think about, because we all so very often forget who and whose we are. So for me, the crux of today's message is to remind each and every single one of us to go deep, to breathe deep, as Carol said, but to definitely go deep into our awareness of our teaching, go deep into the truth of our oneness with the divine, go deep into our understanding that we all have access to this infinite presence, and go deep into our knowing that as we first seek ye the kingdom of heaven, then all else will fall into place. The spark of the divine, our Christ consciousness, is that place where humanity, our humanity, meets the divine, our divinity. Another story that made its way to me as I was preparing for today is from As Far as the heart can see, stories to illuminate the soul by Mark Nepo. Now, according to this story, a Sufi master and his apprentice were traveling across the desert in order to get to the marketplace, which was by the sea. Now, crossing the desert, the apprentice didn't really see much of a difference between himself and his master. And in fact, he was musing to himself that it's not so far to the truth as I thought it was going to be. But once in the marketplace, all bets were off. Once in the marketplace, the apprentice could not take a step clearly. He saw a beautiful woman from afar and he wanted to touch her. And wrestling with his desire to touch her, he stopped experiencing her. Now he was fishing in the break of his heart, mourning the last love that he had known, wondering where she was. Then he saw an angry father strike his son and noticed that everyone else just kept walking by. But by now he was feeling his anger at his own father and was no longer experiencing the street. Then, beyond the fish peddlers, a snake handler was dancing his snake in the air, and the apprentice was now caught in his mother's fear of snakes. When the master reached for the young man, it was as if he had to reach through a very dense fog that was around the apprentice. And in fact, when he reached out to touch him, he actually startled the apprentice because he was not present. The master held his face and said, "When you can walk the city like a desert and the desert like a city, the sun will be your heart above you, and your heart will be the sun inside of you." Now, being human, we are easily clouded by a fog of associations that keep us from a direct experience of whatever it is that we are going through. It causes us to go down what I would call a rabbit hole. Fear, doubt, worry, confusion, and chaos live down in that rabbit hole. It is so convoluted. It is so convoluted that by the time we can even think to take a breath, we may not even remember what brought us to the edge of the rabbit hole in the first place. This is reactionary living. This is living without a deeper understanding of who and whose we are. This is living without a deep spiritual awareness of how life works and how we contribute to that outpicturing. The apprentice, when they were walking in the desert, had no trouble and even felt himself to be perhaps as spiritual as the master himself. However, when he was out in the world, immersed in the business of the marketplace, he fell apart. He could not stay centered or grounded. It's a lot easier to be a sage in a cave on the top of a mountain than it is to be a sage on a journey in the middle of the world of form. The challenge is, however, that we came here to be human beings and to experience life in that human form in the world. We cannot hide in a cave and be who we came here to be. I believe, however, that we can do both. We arrived on the planet as spiritual beings having a human incarnation. We have an expression in both worlds. And in truth, there is only one life, God's life. So in order to not feel the separation that we so often see with our human eyes, we need to stay centered in that truth as we walk our path, no matter where that path takes us, whether it is in the desert, in the city, in the middle of a challenge, no matter where it is, to remember and to really embody that spiritual truth. I love the Master's words of wisdom. When you walk in the city like a desert, and the desert like a city, the sun will be your heart above you, and your heart will be the sun inside of you. Now, for me, the phrases can be interpreted as a call to align our thoughts and our actions with our inner divinity, and affirms our inner self with a capital S. Our heart, that spark of the divine, is a source of warmth, love, and positive energy, just like the sun up in the sky. It implies that when we are connected to our true self, again with a capital S, we radiate goodness and light. When we recognize that our heart is the sun within, our thoughts, beliefs, and actions will naturally reflect that inner light. So how do we do that? How do we get to the place in which we can walk the city like a desert and the desert like a city? Now, my first thought is to go deep into our spiritual practices. In order to prepare the way for us to be our highest and best selves, we have to consciously and consistently engage in the spiritual practices that resonate with us, that allow us to feel deeply connected to the divinity within. Our spiritual practices really empower our spiritual musculature, that inner musculature within our consciousness, which expands our capacity to sit still, which expands our capacity to be non-reactive, to be calm, to be centered, and to be wise. Our spiritual practices allow us to be aware of the power and presence at the center of our being, a power and presence that cannot work through us without our conscious awareness of it. Our conscious awareness opens the door to the kingdom, to all of the peace, all of the joy, all of the wisdom, all of the abundance, all of the love that we could possibly imagine. However, the bottom line is that we cannot experience any of it in our outer world until we are aware of its presence within our inner world. Our outer world is merely a reflection of our inner consciousness. And the bottom line is that the one who truly feels that presence within them is the one who is really capable of co-creating a life that they absolutely love to live. Alexis Pauline Gumbs writes, "Let your practice facilitate depth. It will be there when you need it." This reminds us that practice is important. The invitation is to use our spiritual tools regularly, even when everything is going well, because then they become second nature, because then they can be the foundation that supports us in times of change, that supports us in challenging times. Aligning with the truth of who we are brings me to my second thought about today's message, and that is to go deep into your inner being and do the inner work. Now, in order to live our highest and best lives, we need to be willing to not only be mindful of what is within our conscious awareness, but to also be willing to go deep to discover what is in our subconsciousness. To be willing to go deep, to get to the underlying beliefs and thoughts behind our stories, behind our truths, behind those things that we say about ourselves and each other. The underlying subconscious beliefs that are very often driving our experience. We often like to stay superficial and avoid this process. However, its importance cannot be downplayed, and it is 100% our responsibility to do that inner work. It's important to really realize that each one of us has a very unique, individual set of perceptions, beliefs, and biases about ourselves, about each other, and about the world. Our experience of life is largely determined by those deeply rooted convictions. Each one of us goes through life making choices and expecting results based on them. The problem is that we are not always aware of those convictions. They often live in our subconsciousness. So the invitation is to go deep to discover them, to really find out what they are. The idea that we are responsible for the experience of our life can prove to be really difficult and challenging. However, the underlying truth is that all of the answers to all of the questions, all of the solutions to all of the problems, and all of the keys to all of the doors lie within us. All that we have to do is commit ourselves to getting access to those dominant beliefs, those perceptions, and those biases that we hold to be the truth, that we hold within us. Now, in order to do that, the invitation is to go deep, to uncover the subconscious thoughts and beliefs that are at cause in the experience of our life, to discover them and to heal them and to transform them. When we create from reframed stories and from healed beliefs, we are able to consciously transcend our challenges and move forward in ways that we maybe have never, ever even thought about before. My third thought is to go deep into life itself. Life is the path back home to our highest and best selves. It is the moment by moment evolution of our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs, our choices, our actions, and our experiences. The path is not like Route 66, who has a final destination in Los Angeles. We cannot take a map out and figure out where we will be and exactly when we will be there. The path is uncharted. It comes into existence moment by moment, choice by choice, and experience by experience. Living our lives, walking our path from a place that is integrated with the truth of who we are at our core, shows up in really many wonderful ways. For example, we feel that life has meaning and that we play a significant part in that meaning. We feel comfortable with our belief system, knowing that it supports our lives fully and completely. We do not feel trapped by society's rules, knowing that our inner wisdom would never steer us wrong. We love what we are doing, enjoy spending time with people that we meet on our path, and actually want to get out of bed in the morning. We recognize that all experiences are happening for a reason, and we feel that everything is in its right and perfect place. We notice that everything is beginning to come together, that good things keep happening to us, and that we actually feel content and even at peace in our life. When we are living our lives, walking our path from a place that is integrated with the truth of who we are at our very core, we will never be off our path. Because the truth is that from that deeply integrated place, we are the path itself. We are the path itself, and it is unfolding in divine right order and in divine right timing. Ernest Holmes says, deep within each of us, there is a place of calm, of peace and security, where troubles and accidents do not occur, where truth and love reign supreme, and good is the only power. To go deep is to touch the truth of who we are, to align ourselves with that inner spark in everything we do, in all of our relationships, in all of our circumstances, in all of our challenges. The invitation is to go deep into the silence of our own minds, to commune with the spirit that is at the heart of who we are, to go deep into the depths of our own consciousness and our own subconsciousness, committing to do the work to heal, and to go deep into the life that we are living, allowing our highest and best self to shine. As I've said the last 2 Sundays, I affirm, I declare, I claim, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we all will be very grateful and very blessed that we did so. And so it is. And so it is. So I just invite everyone to turn within for a moment of prayer to anchor this message and the music and the meditation and the prayers. In a moment of prayer, recognizing that as we close our outer eyes and turn our attention inward, we are doing so to that space and place that has been talked about so many times in so many ways today, that inner spark of the divine, that Christ consciousness that is at the heart of our being, that space and place that animates us, loves us, breathes us, supports us, created us. We can never be separate from it. It is who and what we are. And it's from that place, this divine unity, this deep and abiding connection, that I speak these words about and for each of us today, truly knowing we are spiritual beings having a human incarnation, and that we have expressions that we are called to express within that spiritual realm and within that human realm, knowing that the two are actually only and eternally one. There is only one life. That life is God's life, and that is our life now. And I claim ease and grace for us around going deep into our spiritual practices to really anchor our awareness of that presence, so that it becomes second nature, so that we can walk in the city or we can walk in the desert and stay grounded and stay focused and stay centered in that awareness of who and what we are. I claim ease and grace around going deep into our inner realm, to doing the inner work to discover not only what is in our conscious awareness, but what is in our unconscious subconsciousness, so that we can find and discover and heal and transform those things that are actually working against us, that are actually in resistance to us living the life that we would love to live. Because once we bring them out into that light, and to embrace them and to heal them and to learn from them and to let them go if necessary, then we can move on and we can create a world that works for everyone. I claim ease and grace around us going deeper into life itself, not sitting on the sidelines, but actually having some skin in the game, actually really shining our light from within, from that space that is totally and fully integrated with who we are, with that divinity within us. We know that even though Brahman hid it within inside of us, we know that it's there and we can access it. We have the capacity to tap into that power and presence whenever we like. And I'm so grateful to know this truth and to speak these words. So grateful for the power of prayer, knowing that these words are loosed into a law that only ever says yes, that my words are clothed in form even as they are spoken. And so I speak them and I release them into that law, letting go and letting God be God. I invite each of us to anchor this prayer for ourselves, for each other, for our community, and for the world, simply by saying, and so it is. And so it is. Amen. It is now time for our conscious giving. The Triangle Center for Spiritual Living is sustained by the giving of our time, talent, and treasure. And this is the time each week when we offer financial support to assist this community to be a beacon of light and love for ourselves and others. Together we affirm the truth that today's offering lifts this spiritual community, prospers the one giving, and adds to the energy of sufficiency on the planet. Since we're not in the room together, there are 3 really wonderful ways that you can give today. They're here on your screen. Visit our website at trianglecsl.org. You can text the word give to 919-629-9148, or you can actually write a check to PO Box 4062, Cary, North Carolina 27519. In this moment, I invite you to turn within again while I speak a word of blessing on this offering, knowing that the process itself is an opportunity to stand and in an expanded view of all of the ways that we are abundant, and to focus our attention on all of this abundance by practicing sharing and giving. That by recognizing our good and being willing to give some of it away, we enter into the law of circulation and participate in the powerful flow of the universe. I know that as each of us enters into this eternal flow of giving and receiving, that the gift we give comes back to us. The blessing and the blessed are one. Thank you all so very much for your gifts, and thanks God for the gift of each and every single one of you. We are so blessed, and so it is. And now, speaking of blessings, please welcome the amazingly talented Sandy Hemingway back to his piano. Welcome back, Sandy.
So this is a song I wrote deep in the COVID years when I had lots and lots of time to think, and it was about my struggles trying to find the balance between my head and my heart. It's called Out of My Mind. I once lived a life of wonder. I once lived a life of peace. When my heart was torn asunder, I was driven to my knees. And now I'm back at the beginning. I'm wondering where this road will lead. But I'm not concerned with winning now. I've got everything I need. I'm getting out of my mind and into my heart. It's time to reset. It's time to depart. It's time to move on and live and be free. It's time to get strong. It's time to be me. Getting out of my mind. And there are loops of thoughts inside me, saying what I cannot do. Fear and doubt will try to guide me, unless through faith I see the truth. I was placed upon this planet, not to simply serve myself. All the gifts that have been granted me are here, so I can share my wealth. I'm getting out of my mind and into my heart. It's time to reset. It's time to depart. It's time to move on and let them be free. It's time to get strong. mind. Sometimes I overthink my life. Sometimes I'm driven by my feet. My life seems best when my head and my heart combine to help me stare. I'm getting out of my mind into my heart. It's time to reset. It's time to depart. It's time to move on and let to be free. It's time to get strong. It's time to be me. Getting out of my mind. Getting out of my mind. Getting out of my mind. Getting out of my mind.
Woohoo! Thank you, Sandy. That was some conclusion. We're blessed that you are you with us. So thank you so much for your contributions. Okay, now is our time for affirmations. Remember that affirmations only work with energy and intention and direction. So we're going to do this as a call and response. I will go first, and you can join Miss Diane in repeating it after me. All right, this is our July 20th affirmations. Today, I choose to consciously go deep into my spiritual practices with dedication, gratitude, and expectation.
Today, I choose to consciously go deep into my spiritual practices with dedication, gratitude, and expectation.
Today, I choose to go deep into the interior of my being, willing to honestly explore my thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and biases.
Today, I choose to go deep into the interior of my being, willing to be honest, to honestly explore my thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and biases.
Today, I choose to go deep into the fullness of life with an open mind and an open heart, allowing myself to welcome all of it.
Today, I choose to go deep into the fullness of life with an open mind and an open heart, allowing myself to welcome all of it.
Today, I choose to go deep, which allows me to then rise higher than I ever have before.
Today, I choose to go deep, which allows me to rise higher than I ever have before.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thank you, Diane. All right, so now it is time for our benediction. So once again, I ask you to close your outer eyes. Take that deep breath. And what I'm experiencing right now, besides just gratitude and joy and love and oneness and community, or maybe it's my head, I guess, that what really is speaking to me is a metaphor that seems like a paradox. We talk about paradoxes here a lot. But the metaphor is that I realize if I consider myself as a boat, and I'm just a boat on the water, I'm a boat that is being tossed around by the turbulence of the waves and the winds and the who knows what. But paradoxically, if I drop that anchor into the deep of my being, the deep of my truth, the deep of my spirit, that allows me to rise above that turbulence, to rise into the air, to rise in towards what we think of as heaven. And that is where I create not just a life I love to live, not just a life that raises our community, not just a life that supports people, but that supports animals and birds and bees and trees and bugs and all that is. That paradoxically, by planting that anchor, allows me to rise to the heights where we are creating that world that works for all. What a glorious thought. And so I know that it is that as we go forth from this talk, that that's what we are committed to doing, because we are all one. So if that's what I'm committed to being and doing, then that's what I'm saying you are committed to as well. Taking that anchor that allows us to rise higher than ever before, both individually, as a community, and as a world. And how glorious is that? So knowing that this will output in the days to come, I am so grateful for this time together. I'm so grateful for this community. I'm so grateful for today's event. And I invite you to affirm that for yourself as well with our words, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you very much, Carol. Thank you very much to all of the people that helped to facilitate today's service, Sandy, Diane, Carol, and Heather, and for all of you for being a part of it, for joining us online. We know you're there, and it's lovely to know that. Thank you all for your little words that you send to us throughout the service. I have one last quick but important announcement, and that is we have an opportunity to welcome back to another concert Karen Daly and her band, Karen in the middle, boys on the side, who will be singing on Saturday, July 26th from 6 o'clock until 9 o'clock at the Salem Street Pub in Apex, the Salem Street Pub. Saturday, July 26th from 6 to 9. It's a great restaurant and a beautiful music venue. So come grab a beverage and a bite and join us for a fun night out filled with our community and with music. So please consider joining us for that. Have a great week. I love you all. Thank you again, everybody.